Alright, this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. And I've linked my research library in the playlist. Some food for thought for you. We've got a Cinco Grande, the 5G technology that's basically affecting humanity in a real negative way. Depending on perspective, it's harming people. The 5G cellular communications technology and more. There are silent weapons for quiet wars, actually technology that can impair the cognitive function. And some of the food for thought I would recommend truth. And along with that is proper nutrition, and then restricting harmful toxins from the body as you're able. Now, I cover this in great detail. I did have a video earlier this morning you might find interesting from our neighborhood, zoomed in on the moon. And I talked a bit about the digital quarantine, which I have been wanting to break out of as often as I can. That's why I drive the Truth Mobile. And I wear a shirt that has my name and the word truth on it. My phone number is a searchable piece of data, as well as the hashtagging of my name. It's a practical way to overcome the digital quarantine that the artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer systems, technology is wanting to quarantine truth tellers. Now, what's interesting about that is that system of control will present the truth to some, especially those that are already marginalized, maybe viewed by like conspiracy theorists, crazy people. Oh well, yeah, I'll leverage worldwide instantaneous portable communication systems to tell the truth. It's show and tell for adults. How about that? Isn't that special? So I'm enjoying the ride. Now that I'm actually born again, I have a passion, purpose, and eternal perspective, and the power to do what I previously couldn't do, and the pleasure to enjoy it all, even though it's rather unpopular with many. How about that? Isn't that special? So I'm not going to be conformed to the mold of the masses that are blindly going along with this official narrative of over-exaggerated deaths and COVID-19 coronavirus deaths of anybody that they can stick that on a toe tag. They'll stick it on anybody. If you've got a cough and terminal cancer, by golly, and you're in hospice, apparently they'll put COVID on your death certificate. How about that? You can research it. I've got documented health professionals that have expose that reality, and those Dr. Fauci and others that are supposedly spokespeople for the system, as well as the World Health Organization, are talking about that. By the way, apparently they have announced they will be going door to door to take people out of their homes, to provide forced vaccines on them and mandatory testing. Not for me. None for me, thanks. They can stick it in their own selves. The vaccine, they can stick it where the sun doesn't shine, or where it does shine. I don't care. I'm not taking it. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not taking it anymore. Well, not so much. I'm not mad. I'm just wanting to tell the truth and let the results be what the results are. Some love it, some hate it. So I cover a wide variety of topics, and so is it true? Whatever it is that you want to know about, whatever it is that you believe, is it true? When Walter Cronkite was famously recorded as saying, and that's the way it is. No, he was a front man for the New World Order. Most of the popular news presenters are spokespeople for the system of control, controlling humanity by controlling their brains, their imagination, what they believe. So when I hear anybody say something, I filter that through is that actually true? I ask that question. So to apply critical thinking, when contradictory viewpoints are presented, they're opposing one another, they cannot both be true. Quite frankly, they could both be false. And that's a lot of what's happening. There's a lot of falsehood that's all around, created conspiracy theories that make the truth sound ridiculous. How about that? How sophisticated? Yeah, so artificial intelligence is more like the Terminator. I'll be back. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, my brother Bill, William Forsch, William F-O-R-S-C-H-E, has an IMDb recognition. He worked on the original Terminator, did Arnold's makeup. He worked on Star Wars, Ghostbusters, Lost Boys, and more. He plaster casted my face smiling, and Robin Williams not smiling. I was born again shortly after Robin Williams committed suicide. That was part of my wake-up call. In 2005, I successfully didn't end my life with a suicide attempt. I'm grateful for that. I was on pharmaceutical medication as prescribed by a professional and under medical supervision. Pharmaceuticals made me suicidal and quite often homicidal. They don't talk about that on the disclaimer on the advertisements. Reason being, the family support network wouldn't be quite as insistent on medicine compliance if they knew they were potentially at risk. So that's something to consider, is that the when suicidal ideation is present, they don't even mention that on the disclaimer. They mention it kind of like this. You may have more frequent urination, unusual thoughts. You may have suicidal thoughts. You may think of killing your whole family and yourself, or going on a mass shooting spree. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about that because it would circumvent their compliance with medications that are just ubiquitous in our society. Oh, you're unemployed now? Oh, you lost your business? Your wife left you? Your husband left you? You can't get the kids off of video games? You can't get them to you can't get them to pick up the room. You can't get anybody to do anything. Here, try a little Celebrex, Prozac, Depakote, whatever. It's a chemical cacophony of chaos. How about that? It's just a mess. This world is a mess. And the great news is there will be a new heaven and a new earth. I'm looking forward to that. I'm enjoying a beautiful ride in the country right now. And yes, I'm in South Carolina, and Facebook turns the view of the camera backwards. Let me just show you a little bit of this. Just a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah, very nice. Very nice to go along with the worldwide quarantine to basically castrate humanity's ability to provide for their family, to basically emasculate the manhood. What do men do? Well, they're providers, supposedly, and in many cases are. And the system is creating a world of dependent slave class individuals that have to crawl up to the like a little boy in what was it, Oscar, or it was a classic old movie. He's begging for porridge. Oh, please give me some food. Please take care of me. A $1,200 check isn't going to take care of a $1,200 mortgage or rental and car loans and food prices that are going off the hook. The supply chains are going down all around the world. All around the world, the supply chains of distribution are going down. I would recommend to everybody to have what you want on hand, because it's going to be really important. I'm not saying guns and gold. I'm saying tuna and toilet paper, and maybe a way to protect them too, to protect yourself from people that won't have a problem, or they will see themselves as the ones that can take it from those that have it. That's the plan of some people. Some doomsday preppers just bought guns and ammo so they could get it from others. It's the criminal element within our society. We've got a criminal element within our society that creates money out of thin air, takes that digital purchasing power and manipulates humanity with the talking heads that they can pay to do their bidding in the form of news presenters, FDA, the heads of government organizations that are supposed to regulate free trade or supposed to regulate the food and drug and pharmaceuticals and all of that. It's a very corrupt system. If you haven't figured that out by now, I'm sorry to hear that. If you're new to this game, or if you're new to this, realizing that much of what we've been told is a lie, feel free to scroll through my playlist, and I've featured known liars like Bill Nye the Science Guy, showing how wonderful 5G technology is. The same guy that brings us all kinds of science fiction fantasy. So you'll see SpaceX in the traveling to the imagination of humanity, along with NASA promoting the global deception, the global lie. We live on a stationary level Earth. The Earth is not moving. The supposed movement of the Earth has never been proven. I had a lady come on by and drop on my playlist, or on my last Facebook live broadcast, and she says, I was right with you until you mentioned the flat Earth. It's like, well, okay, suck it up, Buttercup. Do you want to know the truth, or do you just want to believe the lie, the bullshit that's being shoveled to you by the system of deception? Yeah, I said it. BS. They're lying, and I ain't buying. And the Cinco Grande, the 5G that's brainwashing humanity, you can look at the video that I featured about targeted ex-gang stalking targeted individuals. There's almost 4,000 videos on my new research library. You can look at it. I was up to 5,000 on my liked videos playlist that had tens of millions of occurrences out there until YouTube/Google turned everybody's liked videos playlist private. How about that? So when I liked a video, it shared it tens of millions of times. Well, the system of control couldn't have that, right? Oh, well, I'm telling on them. I had been encouraging people for about a year and a half to like videos and make your like videos playlist publicly viewable and share it everywhere you can. So how long will I be able to do this? I don't know. I used to say, you know what? When I die, my digital profiles will keep going on. Well, maybe not. AI could basically wipe out all my content. Isn't that special? So what I would say is God, the creator of the world that we know and don't know, the mysteries of all of that, the creation, the living word, the living water, the great I am, Yeshua, Yahweh, the Alpha and Omega, knowing the end from the beginning. He's not just, he is so far beyond artificial intelligence, he actually knows everything. Omniscience is the capacity and the reality of knowing it all. And that's an attribute of God. And he's all powerful. So he can serendipitously choreograph our lives with other people's lives and cause people to love us and hate us, maybe even want to kill us. Oh, well, it's going to happen. I listen to the book of Revelation almost every night. It takes less than a day to hear the entire New Testament. I've done it thousands of times in my lifetime because I wanted to. It's neuroplasticity is a renewing of the mind, clearing the body from all the garbage that's being rained down on us through the atmosphere, the wireless technology, the toxification of the food, water, and air. I'm detoxing by bathing in highly purified, carbon-filtered, reverse osmosis water. I flush out my nasal passages with it. I go underwater with my eyes open, and it draws the toxins out of all of me. And so the reason why I mention that, you may not like some or a lot of what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is practical and truthful, and anybody may be able to benefit from it. The great news is all of God's children will absolutely be born again. They're going to be born of His Spirit. They're going to want to, like me. I had a gentleman want to know more about my born-again experience. Basically, I wanted to know where was I going to spend eternity and why. I found out that my name and the names of all of God's children were put in the Lamb's Book of Life before the foundation of the world. Awesome! So I get to go to heaven. So do all of God's children. And a love for the truth is evidence of the new nature. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. How about that? So God is going to help people believe the lie they want to believe. So I encourage everybody to seek the truth with all your heart, because it's going to require more than you can marshal, more than you can command. It's going to require more than you have. It's going to require divine intervention. God's grace is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. The truth isn't based on popular opinion. It's not popular, and it's not an opinion. It's just the truth. It's the reality of the situation. That's the way it is. That's the way I found it. Early on in this, I thought people just needed to hear the Bible. I perceived that to be the ultimate, most important truth. What I found out is that the love of the truth is the antidote for deception, and that is a gift from God. I would encourage everybody to ask for that. So, this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'm going to flip this around. This makes it kind of easy to just show you. And you can call me anytime. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. What you believe about me doesn't really affect me that much. And what I believe really doesn't affect where you're going to spend eternity. It's what you believe. So is it true? Whatever you believe. How will you know? By irony and paradox, the deceived are unaware that they're deceived. It's just the way it is. Pride is a powerful catalyst for deception. It says, hey, whack job, I got it figured out. You and your tinfoil hat buddies and that, you're all crazy people. Oh, really? Yeah, well, show me the proof for what you believe. I've got it abundantly all over my social media profiles. You can hashtag my name. Probably going to have, if I live long enough to do this, I'll probably have robertforsch.com, because I may get shut down from the other social media platforms and maybe have a website. I don't know. I was listening to Dollar Vigilante this morning, and they took his Vimeo account down. I've got a Vimeo account. If I start talking like this and sharing what I'm sharing, they'll take mine down too, right? Maybe. When you type in a word search and click enter, do you get through the millions of pages that are there? Probably not. So it's easy for the system to hide searches from some and present it to others. Very interesting. It's so sophisticated, it's absolutely mind-blowing. That's why I'm telling you about it. It's beyond human comprehension, what we're dealing with. It's a fallen angel technology. Oh, that sounds a little weird, Robert. Yeah, it is. It is a lot weird. So what I want to tell you is that I make my number available because I want people to be able to reach out and say, hey, and it happens almost every day. Yesterday I had calls from all over the world, from the UK, Canada, Texas. I've got good friends that I talk to regularly. I appreciate that. And then I also am able to pour over the content that I add to my playlist. So when I'm chilling in the in my hot tub it's a bathtub that I heat up the highly purified water with, stainless on the stove, and I carry about 700 pounds of water a day. Keeps me in shape. I fill it up in 5-gallon jugs, and I've got a $250 system that I fill up like more than a dozen 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs. I don't want the water to go in a cheap #1 plastic. Those are the ones you can get from Home Depot and that. Mine are the official drinking water bottles. You can fill it up and do that too. If it's the same type of water that's being used for dialysis, I had a friend die recently, apparently, and they'll probably attach COVID on his death certificate. He was short of breath for a long time. He had COPD, apparently, he had a CPAP machine, and he was on dialysis, and his body was shutting down. And a lot of times life choices contribute to physical maladies. Also, what we think about affects our health. Are we happy? Are we sad? Are we angry? The negative emotions affect us in ways that are significant, as well as I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. I'm eating healthy and I'm doing the right thing. I'm obeying God. I'm doing what I was created to do. That's why I'm enjoying the ride. That's why I'm inviting everybody to come on along. Hey, I'm going to show you the Truth Mobile here. I'm on a little country road here. Let me just show you this. Yeah, you can call anytime. Thank you so much for your public and private encouragement. That means a lot. And what I'm going to encourage anybody to do, if you want, you can put your phone number on this in the comments section if you like. You can also put a link to videos you think I should look at. I have friends from all over the world send me links so I can evaluate them and determine whether or not I want to add them to my playlist. So I on my playlist of my research library, I have the lifestyles of the rich and famous that are exploiting the rest of humanity with their deception and their just the dystopian reality that they're foisting on humanity. As according to the book of Revelation, there's going to be a world with a whole lot less people. And I encourage everybody to get your house in order. The end is near. So I'm the digital version of the old man ringing the bell saying the end is near. I saw that guy in Los Angeles, California, downtown LA. Yeah, the end is near. Get your house in order. Thank you so much.